The Impressa S9 OneTouch from Jura is the latest addition to their fast and powerful line of fully automatic coffee centers. And with the latest and most comprehensive OneTouch technology, it's extremely user-friendly. Create a cappuccino, cafe mocha, latte, or latte macchiato, all without ever moving the cup. With its two independent stainless steel-lined thermoblock heating systems and its extra-large 96-ounce water capacity, the S9 OneTouch produces coffees and frothed milk without any downtime or purging necessary. With the push of a button, the S9 OneTouch grinds, tamps, and brews crema coffees, espressos, lattes, and cappuccinos in just seconds. Make 1 or 2 cups at a time and brew any size drink from 1 to a full 16 ounces, fresher than in a coffee bar. Your S9 OneTouch also dispenses hot water, perfect for creating cafe americano or for tea. And it has a separate funnel for using ground coffee, so you can brew a different variety of coffee, such as decaf, when you have regular beans in the bean container. All coffee, frothing, and hot water functions are completely programmable. You can set temperature, coffee volume, and coffee strength for each button. The LED dialogue system displays easy-to-understand instructions that help you make perfect drinks every time. It even has a progress bar that will show you when your beverage will be ready. And with the auto cappuccino system, you can create cappuccinos, lattes, or macchiatos with just a touch of a button. There's no need to move the cup from the frother to the coffee spout. The S9 OneTouch comes equipped with a commercial steel conical burr grinder, automatic cleaning cycles, and the unique Clearl water filtration system, which purifies the water and eliminates decalcification altogether. Its electronic sensors tell you when water and bean levels are low, and a large cup warming platform keeps your cups warm and ready. With its beautiful metallic finishes and dramatic backlit coffee spout, the S9 OneTouch is the focal point of any kitchen or executive office. And it's safe to leave the S9 OneTouch on all day. Whenever you feel like having a cup of coffee, cappuccino, latte, latte macchiato, or tea, simply press a button. It's like having a coffee bar right in your kitchen. The Jura S9 OneTouch, the most versatile super automatic coffee center available today. The Jura S9 OneTouch, if you love coffee. Follow these quick steps when setting up your S9 OneTouch for the first time. In just minutes, you'll be ready to brew rich crema coffees and delicious frothed drinks. Start by plugging the machine in and turning on the main power switch. This is located on the back of the machine. Once it is switched on, the on-off button on the front of your machine illuminates, indicating that you can start the machine. Remove the water tank, rinse, and fill with fresh water. It's important to remember that the Clearl water filter should not be installed during the initial setup of your OneTouch. Small grains from the filter may cause blockage inside your machine if it's inserted before the system has been filled with water. The filter installation is covered in detail in the Clearl filter section of this DVD. Now replace the water tank and fill the bean container with whole coffee beans. You may find small traces of ground coffee in your new machine. This is normal. In order to correctly calibrate the burr grinder, coffee beans have been ground by your machine in the factory. A quick tip: dark, oily beans have a tendency to stick together. Stirring your beans each morning keeps them feeding smoothly into the grinder. Now push the on-off button on the front of your machine. The machine will then prompt you to fill the system by pressing the rinse button. Place cups under the auto cappuccino system and the hot water spout and push the rinse button. The S9 OneTouch pumps a small amount of water through the auto cappuccino system and then stops automatically. Your machine will then pump water through the hot water spout and begin heating. Once your machine has heated, it will ask you to run a quick rinse cycle. Simply move the rinse cup under the coffee spouts and push the illuminated rinse button. Once the rinse is completed, your machine will read "Coffee ready." Now push any of the coffee or espresso buttons to start the flow of beans into your S9 OneTouch. This first cup will be a little weak, but your next cup will be perfect. Each morning when you turn on the S9 OneTouch, it will welcome you and take a few moments to warm up. Once heated, the display will read Press Rinse. Place a cup under the dual coffee spouts and push the Rinse button. This quick hot water cycle warms the internal parts, including the coffee spouts. You can make high-pressure brewed coffee, espresso drinks, hot chocolate, or tea once the LED display reads Coffee Ready. Now let's look at how easy it is to make perfect pressure brewed coffee. The S9 OneTouch works like a commercial coffee center. It brews coffee under high pressure, which according to the majority of coffee experts is the best system for maximum flavor and aroma. There are 4 preset coffee buttons, a small and large cup button, and double cup button for each size. These make 2 cups at a time. Temperature, coffee volume, and coffee strength for these 4 buttons are preset in the factory. Later, we'll show you how to change those settings to your preferences. All 4 of these coffee buttons brew high-pressure coffee through the main coffee spout. When the display shows Coffee Ready, you can prepare any coffee beverage. Let's start by making 2 cups of espresso. Place 2 cups on the platform, lower the spout, and push the double espresso button. It's that easy. The S9 OneTouch always brews in 2 steps. It first infuses some hot water into the coffee, pauses for a few seconds, and then continues brewing. This 2-step process brings out the maximum flavor. The fine, foamy layer on top of the coffee, called crema, is the trademark of pressure brewed coffee. It's the crema that traps the fine aromatics and the light, gaseous flavors that register on the palate. With the rotary dial behind this door, you can override the coffee strength and volume on a cup-by-cup basis without permanently changing the programmed setting. Here's an example. The factory setting for the OneCup Coffee button is 5 ounces strong. Let's override the factory settings and brew a 4-ounce extra strong cup. Begin by pressing the single cup coffee button. While the machine is grinding, turn the dial until the display shows 5 beans, or extra strong. Once the coffee begins brewing, turn the dial again until the display shows 4 ounces. Our custom-made, extra strong 4-ounce cup will continue brewing. And you can use the rotary dial with any drink button. It offers you a truly custom cup every time. The S9 OneTouch features Jura Capresso's own auto cappuccino system. The front spout produces steam for milk frothing, and the rear spout produces high-pressure brewed coffee. This fast, convenient system lets you create frothed coffee drinks without ever moving the cup. The Auto Cappuccino system has 2 preset buttons for frothed drinks, the Cappuccino or Latte button and the Latte Macchiato button. And by turning the selector dial, you can choose from 4 functions. The illuminated function will read in the display. First is the manual hot water function. By pushing the dial, you can begin the flow of hot water. When you have enough in your cup, simply press it again to stop the flow of hot water. Next is the hot water portion. This is a pre-programmed water volume that dispenses into your cup with the push of a dial and stops automatically. This is the milk portion function. Just push the selector dial, and this function dispenses a pre-programmed volume of steamed milk and stops automatically. And the last function is the manual steam. By pushing the dial, you can start and stop the flow of steam. To make drinks with milk, begin by filling the milk container with cold milk. To create the thickest froth, use low-fat or skim milk. The thermal milk container will keep milk cold for up to 8 hours. Next, connect the milk container to the Froth Express, which is attached to the front or steam nozzle. Because this system siphons milk to mix with hot steam, it's important that the parts connect tightly, creating a seal. The Froth Express dial has 3 positions for heating milk. The frothing position heats and froths the milk. The steam position heats without froth, and the center position on the dial is for steam only and completely blocks the flow of milk. When warming milk, the knob is adjusted toward this center position to increase the milk temperature. Let's look at how easy it is to prepare perfect cappuccinos, lattes, and latte macchiatos. Begin with the Froth Express dial in the up position and push the cappuccino button. The S9 OneTouch begins by grinding the beans. Next, the heated, frothed milk will begin flowing. Once the frothed milk is in the cup, your machine will begin adding a high-pressure brewed coffee. To prepare a latte, simply move the dial on the Froth Express to the down position and press the cappuccino button. In the down position, the milk is steamed without adding froth. Once the milk is in the cup, the pressure brewed coffee will be added automatically. With one touch of a button, it's the perfect latte. And remember, you can always change the settings on a cup-by-cup basis on any programmed button using the rotary dial. The S9 OneTouch gives you 2 ways to reprogram the permanent portion size for coffee, milk, or hot water to fit your cups. You can either change the portion sizes in the programming mode, which we'll be covering later, or by visual programming. Let's look at how easy it is to visually program the portion size for coffee and milk by preparing a latte macchiato, the most popular drink in Europe. Place your glass, preferably tall and narrow, under the auto cappuccino spouts and set the Froth Express dial to the up or frothing position. Now press and hold the latte macchiato button until the display reads "Enough milk?" The S9 OneTouch begins by grinding the beans. Next, the heated frothed milk will begin flowing. When you have enough frothed milk in your glass, press the latte macchiato button again. Your machine will then pause, giving the froth time to rise to the top of the glass. Finally, your machine will begin adding freshly brewed espresso, and the display will read, "Enough coffee?" When you have enough espresso between your milk layers, press the latte macchiato button once again to stop. You've now reset the permanent volume settings for the latte macchiato button. Each time you press it, you'll create the same perfect multi-layered latte macchiato. Reprogramming your portion size to fit a specific cup is fast and easy with the push and hold feature. It can be used with any beverage button. Shortly after using the Froth Express, your machine will remind you to run a quick rinse cycle. Turn the Froth Express nozzle to the center position. Place an empty cup under the Froth Express and press the illuminated rinse button. This quick cycle rinses any milk remaining in the Froth Express Plus. For more thorough cleaning, see the operating instructions. You may want to change the grinder to a finer or coarser setting. With most beans, a medium grind will produce the thickest crema. With dark, oily beans, we recommend grinding in a somewhat coarser setting to avoid over-extraction. A quick reminder, adjustments to the grinder setting can only be made while the machine is grinding. You can bypass grinding and use ground coffee by pressing the scoop button. This is great for making a cup of decaf or a cup of flavored coffee. First, press the scoop button, which tells the machine to bypass the grinder. The display will read "Fill Pre-Ground." Place 1 or 2 scoops of ground coffee into this funnel. Then press the coffee button of your choice. Without grinding, the machine will now tamp and brew the ground coffee. The hot water spout on your S9 OneTouch is perfect for making Americano coffees, tea, or pre-warming your cups. Just place a cup of espresso underneath the special hot water spout and push the selector dial. By pushing it repeatedly, you can scroll between the temperature settings, low, normal, and extra high. Once you stop on your preferred setting, the hot water will begin flowing. When you have enough hot water in your cup, simply press any button to stop the flow of hot water. Let's take a look at how you can program your machine to suit your personal coffee preferences. Using the rotary dial, let's have a look at the S9 OneTouch's programmable functions. With the display reading coffee ready, push and hold the rotary dial until you hear a beep. The S9 OneTouch displays the first function, maintenance. Although your machine will automatically display when it's time to run cleaning programs, you can manually access rinse and cleaning cycles using this function. Details can be found in the operating instructions. The next function is products. This is where you can set the strength, size, and temperature of all your OneTouch beverage buttons. Next is filter. We'll be installing the Clearal filter later and changing this from filter no to filter yes. If you're not using the Clearal filter, you'll need to set the machine to the hardness of the water you're using. See the operating instructions for further information. In economy, the steam function is always on and ready to go. If you don't often use the steam function, you can save energy by changing this function setting. For details, see the operating instructions. Time allows you to set the time of day. Once you set the actual time, you can also program an automatic on and off time for your unit. The Off After feature lets you set the number of hours after last use your machine turns off automatically. The Rinses function allows you to change the initial rinse that follows warm-up from manual to automatic. It also lets you change the reminder to rinse the cappuccino nozzle from immediately following use to 10 minutes following use. The Information function lets you check all your machine's records, such as how many cups the S9 OneTouch has made with each button, how many cleaning cycles it has run, and how many filter changes have been made. The Setting feature lets you select the time format, either military or standard, and the liquid measure in either milliliters or ounces. The Language function lets you select from 7 languages. And finally, there's Exit, which takes you out of programming mode. Simply push the rotary dial to return to coffee ready. Use this easy programming process to change the settings on any of the coffee buttons, the milk drink buttons, and the water and milk portion functions. Let's change the cup size, the coffee strength, and the temperature for the OneCup Coffee button to prepare a 4-ounce, strong, high-temperature cup of coffee. Start by pressing the rotary dial until you hear a beep. Now turn the dial until the display shows Products and press the dial to get into this function. The display shows Select Product. Press the OneCup Coffee button, as we're changing automatic settings for this button. The display shows the current volume setting 6 ounces. To change the volume, press the rotary dial once again and turn the dial until the display shows 4 ounces. And push the dial to confirm the new setting. Now turn the dial to the next OneCup Coffee button preset, Aroma. The 2-bean graphic indicates that the button is currently set to a mild strength. Again, push the rotary dial to change the setting. Turn the dial to 4-bean or strong setting and press the dial again to confirm the new setting. Finally, turn the dial until the display shows Temperature Normal and push the dial to change the setting. Turn to Temperature High and push the button to confirm the new setting. To exit the button programming, rotate the dial to exit and push. To exit programming completely and return to making drinks, rotate the dial through the programmable functions until you reach Exit and push. Your OneCup button is now programmed to prepare a 4-ounce, strong, high-temperature cup of coffee with the touch of a button. Heated water inside your S9 OneTouch leaves calcium deposits in the tubes leading to the coffee spout and the frother. Using a Clearal cartridge improves your water quality by taking out calcium, chlorine, and other unwanted elements. Using the Clearal filter eliminates the need to decalcify the machine. Let's take a quick moment to install and activate the Clearal water filter. Start by placing a cup or container under the steam nozzle. Once the filter has been removed from the bag and rinsed under running water, attach the extension rod and push it tightly into place in the water tank. Make sure the filter fits securely inside the fins. Now replace the water container and fill it with fresh, cold water. If you use tap water, we highly recommend installing the Clearal filter. For any other water like bottled water or distilled water, see the operating instructions. To activate the filter, press and hold the button in the center of the rotary dial until it illuminates, indicating that you're in programming mode. The first function is maintenance. Rotate the dial until you reach the filter function and press the button to begin programming. The display reads Filter No. Turn the dial and the display will read Filter Yes. Push the button to confirm. The display will read Insert Filter, press Rinse, and the Rinse button will illuminate. Now just push the illuminated Rinse button to begin rinsing water through the filter. For the next 60 seconds, water will be pumped through the filter and out through the Froth Express nozzle. During the activation, the water may be slightly discolored. This is not harmful and will not affect the taste of your coffee. If you need to stop the flow of water, press the Rinse button. You can interrupt the filter rinse cycle to empty and replace the glass, and simply resume by pressing the Rinse button once again. When the filter has completed the rinse cycle, your S9 OneTouch will stop automatically. The machine will warm up and then return to coffee ready. The display will remind you automatically when it's time to replace the filter. For details, see the operating instructions. A powerful memory chip in the S9 OneTouch monitors all functions to keep the machine in good working order, and its display reminds you when it's time to clean the machine. It also automatically monitors the water tank and the used coffee grounds. When the display reads Fill Water Tank, simply refill the water tank with fresh, cold water. Don't worry about the tank or pump running dry. It will always keep a reserve of approximately 6 ounces of water. After 16 cups of coffee, your S9 OneTouch will automatically prompt you to empty the grounds. The overflow tray, along with the used grounds container, slide out easily and can be emptied and rinsed with warm water. Please remember to empty the grounds container every time you remove the tray. Simply replace the tray and your machine is ready again. The S9 OneTouch also monitors the internal brewing chamber and tamping area. After each 200 cups of coffee, it will remind you to run a short tablet cleaning cycle to remove coffee oil buildup in those areas. You can find details in the operating instructions. Jura Capresso's S9 OneTouch makes all your coffee drinks the way you want them. It's smart, user-friendly, and brews all your coffee drinks perfectly every time with just one touch. It's the perfect system, perfect taste. Should you have any further questions regarding your S9 OneTouch's use and care, please see your local Jura Capresso dealer or contact the Jura Capresso Customer Service Department at 1-800-220-5701. Or ask your questions online at contact@capresso.com. You can also visit our website for additional product information. We're at www.capresso.com.